Get your bug spray ready. We're about to dive into the latest creepy crawly addition to Shudder, 2023's French horror film, Infested.
What's up, misfits and metalheads, to another episode of the Cutting Room Floor. We are from the band Cut Like This. I am Thorn Black.
I'm Roseblood.
Don't forget to check out our music right here on YouTube, Spotify, and Bandcamp. Today, we have a nice, creepy, crawling movie for you called Infested, currently streaming on Shudder, made in 2023. All the spider action that you need is happening everywhere. I don't know. This one is just like, it's full of like the creepy crawlies and yes, the nasties and yeah. Why don't you tell them a little bit about this one, Rose?
This was directed by Sebastian Vanecek, and it was written by him as well as Florent Bernard. Sebastian Vanecek is actually going to be working on the next Evil Dead film, which I was very hyped about. This is actually his first feature film, but he did direct about 50 or so shorts before that. So he put a lot of effort into this, and man, you can tell. This includes, by the way, a 150-page art book where he designed what he wanted the mutated spiders to look like. That's really cool. This film uses over 200 real spiders in it, as well as some CG ones for the mutated huge ones. How cool is that? That's insane. These guys really put a lot of effort into this. This is obviously
that's a lot of spiders.
Something that was close to your heart.
Yeah.
They really, you know, they were swinging for the fences, and I think that they surpassed them.
I think you have to, you know.
Yeah.
So there haven't been among like horror movies. There haven't been tons and tons of like, yes, the spider movies have been covered, but
yes,
there hasn't been. It's not oversaturated, in my opinion.
Not at all.
Like at all.
Not
Spiders,
at all.
they're not like the best spider movie of all time for me, and probably a lot of other people. It's still Arachnophobia back from like what was that in the 90s, early 2000s, something like that.
John Goodman was in it.
Still is
so
Arachnophobia.
Good.
So the bar is always Arachnophobia for me when it comes to spider movies, because they just like knocked it out the box.
That's a really, let's all admit that's a very high bar to try to overpass. You know, we've had a lot of schlocky. Of course, there are tons of horror movies going all the way back to Kingdom of the Spiders, starring Star Trek's own Captain Kirk. So there are a lot of spider movies. They're just not all.
All of them.
No, you did not. Everybody died.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, going back to Infested, which the French name I believe is Vermine. This movie was really interesting. It's kind of set in obviously a low-income neighborhood on the outskirts of. It's not in Paris. It's like in the suburbs. You know what I mean? And this is obviously a place where, you know, people are kind of forgotten. It's a kind of tight-knit community. It's centered around a kid named Caleb and his sister Manon. They just recently lost their mom, and you know, he finds comfort in taking care of exotic pets and insects. He has a whole room full of them. And his side hustle is selling. He's a sneakerhead, so he sells these expensive sneakers and stuff. And which is, there's a hilarious kind of ongoing thing where this cop in the neighborhood is always trying to bust him, and he thinks that he's selling drugs and that there's drugs in the shoes. They don't understand why these shoes would be so expensive if they didn't have drugs in them or something, not understanding like the culture.
Yeah, the culture of sneakerheads, because some sneakers, especially like exclusive ones, they're real expensive, and
for sure.
Yeah, so some people just don't get it.
Yeah, some people just don't get it. So this is a kid that's very, very, very misunderstood, and due to that, he's treated kind of poorly by kind of everybody, and so that's why he kind of takes comfort in his hobby, and he's always chastising his sister she'll turn off the lights or whatever, just not realizing how important it is to keep like a stable amount of temperature and light for these exotic animals that he's trying to take care of and everything.
It's like all the heating lights and everything for all of his bugs in his tanks and everything.
But that love of insects is going to and exotic pets is definitely going to end up biting him. In more ways than one. So yeah, this was a really, really interesting film. This is definitely one of the most ambitious spider films that I've seen since probably Arachnophobia. I don't think I've ever seen somebody swing for the fences this hard.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of the spider stuff that I've seen has been, they'll either be comedies or they'll make the spiders like really, really large, like the size of cars or something. So you know what I mean? It takes the sense of fear and urgency in a different direction when it's a little bit more. I don't want to keep using arachnophobia, but you know what I mean? When it's slightly more realistic, so there's a lot more actual real life size spiders instead of like the enormous gigantic ones that kind of make it fantastical. It's like, no, there's like 200 spiders on set right now, and it's like, no, those are like real size. But real spiders can be humongous before they even get to like the extra movie It's just like,
I mean, there is a fantastical element to these because this definitely. Is they show you in the beginning that this is a very special type of spider and that it adapts to its environment by growing in size. So depending on what size the enemy that it has to fight against, supposedly, it grows. And you will see these things grow at an exponential rate throughout the film, which is really cool. And adding to to what Thorne Black was saying about the cramped, confined spaces, they do a really good job because this is kind of like a shabby apartment building and everything.
Yeah.
And with lots of narrow corridors. The director said that he was influenced actually by the film Green Room. Remember that one? That was the one where they're trapped in the green room. The band, the punk band, they're trapped in the green room, and they have to try to escape from a bunch of dickhead Nazi guys and stuff.
I remember
that. He was influenced by that film. As well as others, but that was the one that he had pointed out. Like that was his idea of having like these like kind of narrow, confined spaces and stuff. And that makes sense. That's a space you don't want to be in near freaking spiders. Also, especially this many. Also, there's so many spiders. There's so many spiders.
That's a space that spiders are going to thrive too. Yeah. Which makes sense for them to be able to just kind of,
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
Like, yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's really funny because for me, somebody who watches a lot of horror movies and stuff all the time, I'm not always that easily scared. However, this definitely triggers all of my insect phobia and arachnophobia for sure.
Like, there's a lot of
god, there's so they do some great
feel it because like a lot of the spiders at the beginning are just normal real life size spiders and they're everywhere.
It just feels like something that could happen to you in a weird way.
It does.
You know what I mean?
Does. Like,
I mean, beyond the crazy growing spiders, but
I don't think the clown from It is going to be around the corner when I walk outside. However, if I go in the basement, are there going to be spiders? I mean, spiders exist. So it's like, wait.
They're always waiting to creep up on you.
Get off me.
Yeah, your skin will be crawling by the end of this movie. You will be creeped out. I had a very visceral reactions to many scenes in this film. I found it refreshing, and I liked what he did with lighting and everything. He took there's scenes where he's one kid is using like firecrackers to they're in a really dark space and he uses these firecrackers and it's brilliant because it just gives you like a quick flash and then you just see these spiders drop down and like so gross. It was nasty and wonderful at the same time. So there you go. You have an idea of the story. You get to meet the community of the people that live in the neighborhood and in the building, and it's important, and it's and these characters feel very real. They feel like people that you would, at least to me, somebody that grew up in an urban environment and everything, they feel like people that you would, bump into in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Which is great. Like that, this guy really thought about that. This is the kind of neighborhood that he himself grew up in. So it makes sense, and everything, just flows in a way that's natural and organic. And then there's Sons of Spiders! Oh, they're so bad. They're so bad. There's so many. There's so many spiders. So many spiders. That being said, Thorn Black, how would you rate 2023's Infested?
All right, I'm gonna have to give this one a solid 4 out of 5 chainsaws.
Nice.
Overall, it's just a really fun watch, a cool watch. Lots of just creepy, crawly spider nastiness. I take a half point off because it's just some stuff in like a character or two. I'm just like, really though with
Yeah.
just like, all right, that could, nah. But solid movie otherwise. Really driving home the spider fear, and quickly, it's just, I think this is one of the better spider movies to come out, because again, I don't think there have been tons and tons of spider movies. It just gives you the creepy crawlies. It's like very efficiently well done.
Yes, yes. I'm going to echo that grade for Chainsaws. I think that this is one of the best spider films that I've seen since Arachnophobia, and that is high praise, because I would not give that title easily. I think that this is a really, this was a really ambitious project, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Sebastian and Florent try to take on the Evil Dead series. That's really, that's a huge honor for them, and I know that they're not going to take it lightly. They obviously put a lot of love into this, and you can see it. There are some characters that are very unlikable, but that was on purpose. That's part of, that's part of the story. I do think that the actors are all really putting in, some good work, especially Caleb, played by Teo Christine, and his sister, Lisa Nyarko, is the actress playing Manon. I think that these are characters that feel realistic, and that make poor decisions, but they're poor decisions that people would make. You know what I mean? Because none of us are perfect. And I like it when people are willing to let a character not be a good person, or not even not a good person, but like make poor decisions, because it just reflects reality. And I think that they, it's interesting to say that, this is realistic, even though it's a fantastical story about a crazy, insane, exotic spider poison infestation. I like the aspects of, there were aspects that felt like Green Room. There were aspects that felt like Arachnophobia. There were aspects that felt like the movie Wreck. There's a lot of cool ideas and thought that went into this, and I applaud them for really trying to do a very original story, set it in a totally different kind of place than we've usually seen this kind of thing do, and really going for it. 200 spiders on set. What?
Yeah.
Madness.
Good job.
Madness. My applause.
The infestation is real.
The infestation is real. Good job, guys.
All right, that's gonna be all for us today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give us some streams. We got some new stuff headed your way. Oh yeah, that'll be all from us. We are out.